Hello, friend. Welcome to day 3 of our 20-day challenge together. I'm your host, Alicia Carrasco, entrepreneur, author, wife, and mom of 2. And if this is the very first episode that you're listening to and you're wondering what the 20-day challenge is, let me explain you very quickly in hopes that you also want to join in. So for the first 21st episodes of this podcast, I propose you to be your guide, if you let me, on this journey of self transformation by committing to 20 days to listening to the corresponding episode or watching the corresponding video, where we're going to dive deep into the keys and techniques that are going to let you explore your inner self, and then you do 3 to 5 minutes reflection in your journal. So if you'd like to take me up on this challenge, go ahead and keep listening to this episode. Or you can always go back and start from the beginning in day 1. So, in our last episode, we asked ourselves the question, who am I? Challenging us to look beyond society's labels and also discover the true power that we have as observers of our thoughts instead of just like reacting to them. So, if you didn't listen to yesterday's episode, please go ahead and do so before listening to this one, because today we're diving even deeper on this very same topic of who we really are within. And I'm sure that if you listen to day 2, yesterday's episode, you'll be able to understand even better what we're going to cover today in this episode. So let's continue with this internal journey. In the deepest part of your being, you are the observer of your mind and also the observer of your body. And ultimately, what you are is this vital energy that has made it possible for your body and mind to be created and begin to function in this dimension of physical reality. So, this vital creative energy is what really gives us life. And it is the energy behind everything and that animates everything and actually causes the universe to be in constant growth. So it is the energy that surrounds and creates everything that we have around us. When one begins to think about this in the deepest manner possible, truly meditating on this question of whether everything is energy, it is difficult to go back and contemplate reality from a separatist perspective full of opposing ideas and comparisons, because you start understanding the universe and yourself as well, like everything that surrounds you, like we are all the same thing. We all come from the same vital energy, right? So we are essentially the same life energy expressed in different forms. And deep down, we are not so different from the trees or an ant or a bird or a flower, right? Because we are built at the deepest core. We are the same thing. We're the same vital energy. We are all interconnected in this immense network of energy that emits vibrations. And as human beings, this energy is the energy that inhabits this body and this mind for a limited time with the aim of growing and evolving until reaching its maximum potential. So, your soul is precisely that creative energy, and it came into this world with everything it needed in order to grow and learn and fulfill your purpose here. However, when we get caught in our thoughts and our emotions, like in this part, and we don't go deeper, we block our connection with our soul, our creative energy. This happens very easily in today's world with all the external inputs that we have on a daily basis, and especially for social media, where we let our minds to be filled with so much information all the time that is some of the times is like very negative, and it causes like to feel a lot of insecurities and healthy comparisons and so on. We end up totally disconnected from our souls. And when this happens, or it's been happening for long enough, your soul reminds you that it is still there. Most of the times, it reminds you with a simpler whisper that it is there, like is that voice in your head reminding you about your deepest wants and desires. And other occasions, it can like scream you for your attention and wanting to be heard and in the form of anxiety, or maybe you're feeling nervous or depression, or even constant bad mood or insomnia, and so on. So, all of this is nothing more than your soul seeking attention. And after all, it came here, to fulfill its purpose, your purpose here on earth. What happens in our lives is like it gets buried in the bottom of our being, under all the thoughts, expectations, problems, external obligations that do not help at all in the development of your true potential. So there is a true story that illustrates this, what I'm saying right now, very well, and is the story of the famous Golden Buddha. What happened is that a group of monks decided to move a large clay figure of Buddha to another temple due to some works that were going to destroy the temple where the sacred statue was currently located in. So, to carry out the task, they used a huge crane and they had just started to move it, and the statue slipped and fell to the floor. The figure lay on the floor outside the temple, covered until another crane could come and help move it. So that night, there was a heavy rainfall, and one of the monks, being concerned about the condition of the statue that was laying outside on the floor, went out to check it and cover it so it wouldn't get too wet. So imagine his surprise when he arrived to discover that through one of the cracks in the surface of the clay, there was a flash of light. Slowly, he began to gently tap the statue with his hammer until more pieces of clay began to fall loose. And he discovered that it had been concealing a beautiful statue of Buddha made entirely of solid gold. So, from underneath this clay disguise, Buddha appeared 3 meters high and made out of solid gold. And the statue is nowadays in Wat Mid Temple, and today it's known as the Golden Buddha Temple. So, when investigating the origin of the Buddha, it was discovered that several hundred years ago, the monks decided to cover the statue with clay to prevent it from being stolen from invaders that were heading towards Thailand. And after that invasion, all the monks from that temple were murdered, and no one had been left to reveal what was hidden really underneath the clay Buddha. So it remained totally unnoticed for hundreds of years until 1957, when this great hidden treasure was discovered. So this is a true and very visual story from which we can extract a clear moral. So, in one way or another, we all have this golden Buddha within us, and we have all come to this world with a purpose, and that is to shine and be who we must be. And it is only when we dare to leave aside those multiple layers of clay, which we ourselves and others gradually cover us with from the outside, that can we begin to understand what our treasure really is. So, finding out what this treasure within you is and living in alignment with it is actually your birthright. So, this is the reason actually why you are here. So, for today's challenge, I'd like to leave you with one exercise to reflect on and journal for 3 to 5 minutes. I would like you to take a moment to reflect on those layers: life experiences, limiting beliefs, societal expectations, fears, etc., and so on, that might be concealing that golden Buddha that you are within, and write it down. I hope you enjoyed today's reflection and journaling. And if you like this episode, please like, rate, or subscribe, or even share with a friend. Thank you for listening, and see you in the next one.